Windows not remembering default audio device. I prefer the audio output on my computer to use the standard audio jack output due to volume issues. But I am using a monitor with HDMI. I have chosen to set the default audio device to be speakers. But every time I reboot, the default audio device is the HDMI output again. I am running Windows 7 64-bit. Why does it not remember the default device? I do shut down and boot up properly without errors.
The quick and easy way out. One way to go about this is to disable the HDMI audio device in the device manager. This won't let you use your HDMI audio unless you enable it again, so you'll have to remember how to do that, but the upside is that you won't even see the HDMI audio device in the playback/recording properties in the control panel. But I want it to work right. The reason this is happening is likely because the VIA sound driver has a bug that causes it not to perform jack detection correctly. Jack detection is a mechanism which detects whether you have a sound device plugged into your sound jack. It is a fairly new technology based on sensing whether an electrical current is being drawn from the audio port. A very small amount of energy is needed to transmit the audio over a standard 3.5 inches cable. When jack detection is working correctly on Windows 7, Windows will automatically keep using a device marked as default as long as an audio output, speakers, headphones, etc., is plugged into the device. But if some other device has a connected jack and the default device doesn't, it will switch to the device that is connected. It does this to prevent people from having to manually dig around in the control panel to listen to audio. It helps new users because the audio just plays out of whichever device the jack is plugged into. Jack detection is actually a software mechanism that is easily broken and very hardware specific. On the Linux operating system, the Advanced Linux Sound Architecture, ALSA, driver developers have struggled with jack detection for years, having the labor-intensive task of making it work on tons of different sound cards. Unfortunately, most motherboards ship a unique or nearly unique audio chipset, making the problem worse. This also means that Windows drivers are equally error-prone. Bad driver developers versus the public. Suggestions that may enable proper jack detection without having to disable the device in the device manager. Update your audio drivers from your motherboard manufacturer's website. Update your AMD Catalyst drivers to the latest. The reason that the system always thinks your HDMI audio is plugged in is likely that you use HDMI or DisplayPort to plug in your monitor. Windows says, oh, you have a monitor plugged in, and the electrical signaling with the monitor indicates that an audio path is available, so of course it tries to use that as the default device, especially if your VIA audio driver doesn't have proper jack detection and Windows thinks nothing is plugged in. Here's a real quick jack detection test. Start up the Windows control panel to the page where you took the screenshot in your question. Plug in your 3.5mm speaker/headphones plug into the motherboard's sound chipset, the VIA. Unplug it. If nothing in the UI changes to say device unplugged or not plugged in, then jack detection is not functioning properly. If you can definitively determine that jack detection is working properly, and you still can't get this to work as you desire, you may have to resort to disabling the device in the device manager. Skeptical? Compliment thy current. BTW, hi. Smile, you have an awesome avatar, hee smile.
You should not have to disable anything on your computer that you are not using. What I did was go into Programs and Features and delete the audio driver for your video card and also delete the 3D Vision driver as they are never used. Mine was NVIDIA. The only driver you need is your graphics driver for your video card, as the rest is overkill. Start off by deleting everything off your computer that you don't need, then you will have a better understanding of what the problem is. Also to note is in your sound window, when you change back to your default, which in my case was speakers, you need to configure it before you exit and make sure left and right channel is selected before you exit.
In Windows 10, I use headphones that are connected via optical, and recently the computer has decided at random to just switch to the monitor built-ins for no apparent reason in the middle of YouTube videos and games. Looking at the responses here, I tried looking into the device manager. The audio inputs and outputs area looked to just mirror the available things on the playback devices, but under sound, video and game controllers was an NVIDIA high-definition audio, which I disabled, and bam! No more monitor speakers showing up in the playback devices. Now to see how long this one works.
In my case, I wanted the HDMI audio. Navigate to System Devices in the Device Manager. You'll get 2 HD audio controllers. Enable the one you want and disable the other.
If you want to be original, precisely this time.